Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in, coming back and watching. I appreciate it. Hope you're staying safe and taking care of yourself out there. And if you're new here, my name's Jim. Nice to meet you. I make videos here every week where I take software products and I adjust my images to get them to kind of go from wherever they are, however they were shot, and turn them into something that I'm proud of, something that I like, something that may be different, or maybe something that is more aligned with how I envision the scene. So I'm about exploring your creativity, and one of the great things that you can do these days with photo editing products is use artificial intelligence, or AI. Luminar 4 is a great example of that, and this video is about some of the AI tools in Luminar 4. Now, I'm a guy that makes videos every week showing you how to use tools and enhance your images, but AI kind of promises that you can just do a slider and it'll take care of things for you. So in some ways, it kind of makes you wonder, like, Jim, what good are you? Like, why should I come watch your channel, watch your videos? Why do I need you when I can just move a slider? And it can be true in some instances that one slider is, one slider to rule them all, so to speak. But I think there's a lot of value in the other tools as well. So this is a kind of a comparison video where I'm comparing AI versus me. Like, if AI is so good, what do you need me for? And I don't really mean me, but I just mean, why do you need tutorials? Why do you need these other tools if AI can do it for you? So does the promise of AI hold true? Now, there are some AI tools in Luminar that I'm going to admit off the bat that I can't even get close to doing. AI sky replacement, if you use that, fantastic, amazing, incredible. I cannot reproduce that. I used to do videos in previous versions of Luminar where I replace the sky, and it was always a little sketchy. There were some methods that were pretty good, but let's be honest, the AI sky replacement, it's unreal. I can't touch it. So that's not going to be in this video because that's a win, hands down. The AI portrait tools in Luminar, those are fantastic. I don't even shoot portraits, but sometimes I have to take family shots or a selfie, God forbid. The tools are great. And so again, that's not something I can really replicate with other tools in Luminar. So in other words, I'm not including the AI portrait tools either because I can't touch it. And same goes for the augmented sky where you can place objects in your sky. That's not something I really do a lot anyway, but regardless, that's not something that I'm going to cover in this video. What I'm talking about are kind of what I consider the Holy Trinity, the original trio, the Three Musketeers, whatever you want to call it. They're kind of like the first and kind of the foremost AI tools, in my opinion, within Luminar, and that's AI Accent, AI Sky Enhancer, and AI Structure. So what I'm going to do is compare editing using those tools versus using other tools, just me. So is AI going to get me to the result that I want, or am I going to have to go do things myself and take it into my own hands, so to speak? Let's get into it right now. Okay, first things first, AI Enhance, which has AI Accent and AI Sky Enhancer, they say that AI Accent basically takes the place of up to a dozen tools where you're getting some saturation, some contrast, some detail, some tone, all these things. How well does it work? Well, let me show you. I'm just going to bump up I'm just going to go to 100 here. That's pretty fantastic. I haven't even touched the sky. I could do that. I don't really need it on this photo. I've got this same photo. How would I compare that? Here's, by the way, let me show you how I'm titling these photos. Let me go back. This is photo number 1. It's landscape AI. In other words, I'm only going to use AI. I'm going to pop to the next photo. It's landscape me, this is how Jim would enhance it. So I'm going to use the light tool here. What would I do? I would add some contrast, maybe pull down the highlights, pull up the shadows a little bit. I've got a fine looking photo. Let me compare that to my AI version. There's AI and there's me. They're similar AI. I kind of like AI better, to be honest. And that's one thing I've noticed. If you start with a well-exposed photo that doesn't have like blown out highlights and it's got some decent shadow that you can recover and just needs a little bit of a kick, AI, honestly, is enough. Again, it depends on what you're trying to do. And I'll talk about some of the creative aspects that I get into a little bit later in this video. But if you're just looking for some basic edits, AI is going to be quicker and easier and allow you to get on to the next photo right away. So in a situation like this photo, AI does at least as well as I did, maybe better. Here's another photo where I think AI does a fabulous job. This is a golden hour photo. My AI version, I'm going to bump up AI Accent, pull up a little sky enhancer, maybe add a little bit of AI structure. And you can see that I've quickly gone from that photo to that photo. Again, if you look at the base photo, I started with a reasonably balanced exposure. It's too dark in the foreground, but let's be honest, cameras don't always capture a perfectly balanced exposure, especially if you're shooting without filters and all that. So there's the before, there's the AI version. I think it looks great, to be honest. I'm gonna pop over to the me version and let me go into the light tool, and I'm gonna add a little bit of contrast because I like to do that. Pull down the highlights. I wanna bump up the shadows a bit, maybe give it a little bit of exposure bump, maybe change the temperature and tint. And I think I've got a beautiful photo. Let me compare it to the AI version. Let me go back one. There's the AI version. Take a good look at that. That's AI. Let me just close that because that filter stays open because I had it open in the last photo. AI Enhance and AI Structure were used here, and I kind of like the AI version better. Again, pretty well balanced, already got some decent color, and it just needs some of the basic pop that AI gives you, which will be around the tones, the saturation, the contrast, that sort of thing. In that case, it worked really well. Let me do one more example. Here's a fairly well balanced exposure from a sunset, and this AI accent, I think, it does a great job. Sky enhancer, maybe to give a little bit of drama there, and AI structure, if you want to bump that up, you can create even a little bit more drama, or something I like to do a lot is go to the left and soften that up to get a little bit more of a dreamy kind of look. So just using those two AI tools, I think the photo looks great. I'm going to pop over to the light tool here, which is where I generally always start my editing. I'm going to add some contrast. I'm going to pull the highlights down, pull the shadows up. I might warm it up a little bit, maybe give it a little bit of tint, maybe come over here to landscape enhancer, give it a little golden hour. Let's see, I might go to detail, and I might go negative on medium details and small details just to soften it up. That's kind of like where I did the negative structure. And there's my current photo, and there's the AI photo. They're very different, and I'm going to be honest, because it's a video and I don't want to keep you here all day, I'm going pretty quickly. That's not necessarily exactly what I would do with my own edits, but it's a representative sample, if you will, of what I normally do. So there's the AI version, and there's my version. I actually think I would go back in here and maybe actually go a little bluer as opposed to a little warmer, and maybe pop the contrast a little bit. I kind of like that better. Let me compare that to the AI. There's the AI, and there's mine. I kind of like mine better, but again, AI did a fine job, and the photo looks great. I'm going to now get into a couple of more examples where I find that AI might be a little bit challenged. Okay, a blue hour shot from London. Once again, AI Enhance. I'm going to go over here and do AI Accent and AI Sky Enhancer and maybe some AI Structure. And, admittedly, I think I have a fine looking photo there, but the thing is, I wouldn't necessarily edit the photo like that, and that's the thing that you're doing. Using the AI tools only, you're giving up creative control. The AI tools have no idea what you want to do to the photo. They're trained, and they do a great job of doing what they're trained to do. Let me show you here on this photo. I'm going to start with the light tool, and let me get in here. I'd probably bump up contrast, pull down highlights a bit, pull up shadows, maybe go a little bluer, maybe a little bit of tint. I might come over here and do a little bit of vibrance, maybe take the saturation down on the blue and maybe the luminance a little bit as well. And I need to go back up here, lift the shadows a little bit more because it's a little too dark in the foreground. I'm now going to go down to landscape enhancer, get golden hour, and kind of pop some of those warmer tones. In fact, I'm going to go a little bit more. That's closer to what I would do to this photo. Let me show you the AI version. There's the AI version. Again, just using the two tools of AI Enhance and AI Structure. I'll close that. You can see that they're highlighted, so you know that they've been used. That's what AI gave me, and that's what I gave myself. And I like my version better. And again, that's me taking creative control. And by the way, you will notice I do a little bit of temperature and tint work here. And honestly, I do that on, I would say 100% of my photos. It's in probably all my videos, but realistically, it's probably 98% of my photos. I'm using temperature and tint because I like to massage those sliders, the temperature and tint. It impacts color. I'm a big color guy. So if you don't really do that sort of thing, maybe this AI version is going to be just fine for you. To me, it's a little too bright in the foreground, and I can change that by taking this down. But as I take this down, I'm losing a little bit of pop in the photo, and that's where I go back to having more control using light tool and color and landscape enhancer to really get the look that I want in the photo. And again, that's something that you don't get with AI. You don't get that creative control. Using the other tools yourself, of course, you do get creative control. Here's another photo where I think my edits come in better than the AI edit. So I'm going to say AI accent, I'm going to say sky enhancer, I'm going to say structure. Now, I could quickly and easily go over here, add a new sky. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not really talking about that tool in Luminar or in this video because number one, this isn't about sky replacement. Number two, I can't possibly get anywhere near doing a sky replacement on my own as the creative AI sky replacement tool does for you. Before Luminar 4 had this tool, I did videos about adding new skies in Luminar, and it's always kind of a squishy little masking job where you're trying to get the edges just right and all that. I can't get anywhere close. AI sky replacement is off the charts amazing. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just pointing it out here because it might be something you would want to do. But there's some AI work on this photo. I'm going to go over here now and get into the light tool and do some other things that I might want to do. And I'm going to bump up smart contrast, pull down highlights, maybe pull up shadows, maybe add a little bit of detail, a little bit of medium and large detail. Here's the thing. This is where using temperature and tint come in really handy because I would go a little bit bluer, but that green is really bothering me, and that's not something that AI is going to fix. But with the tint slider, you can come over here and you can see I'm quickly adjusting that and getting tint to look a lot better, getting rid of that green. So comparing this edit to the AI edit can quickly brighten the scene for you. For example, in a blue hour or twilight image, it's a great tool for that, but it's not going to affect tint. And I shoot a lot in cities, and these lights give off this greenish glow. And if you look at that, that looks more natural to me and more realistic and frankly, much more what I want it to look like. So something you're giving up with AI is that temperature and tint control. And it's something that I use on every photo. So again, I'm going to go, in this photo with my edits being better than the AI edits. Here we go, one more time. I'm going to go AI Enhance. I'm going to come over here. It does a great job of brightening up the scene, and AI Structure is great at kind of that detail and clarity kind of look, and it's an intelligent tool. And to be honest, I'm not knocking the AI tools. I love them. In fact, I adore them. I use them on just about every image, and that's something I'm going to talk about in a minute. But this photo with the AI Enhance and AI Structure, I was able to go from that to that. It looks better. It looks nice. It doesn't look the way I want it to look. Again, this is about creative control. So I'm going to come in with contrast. I'm going to pull down highlights, pull up shadows. But once again, I'm going to go to temperature. I prefer that bluer kind of look and getting away from kind of that grayer faded out look. And that's without not really doing a whole lot to the photo. But if you look at my AI version, there's the AI version. Again, not bad. I just don't like that grayish kind of look. It's too drab for me. And being a color lover that I am, I need a better kick in the colors. AI didn't give it to me. But being able to use the temperature and tint sliders in Light Tool, and all I did was light. Honestly, I would crop this photo, which is un-AI related, so I could do that with the AI tools as well. But I would crop this photo, probably straighten it, but I would probably add more contrast. I'd probably get into the advanced tools and start doing things with adjustable gradient and advanced contrast and end up with something vastly different than the AI version, which looks like that. So here's a night scene. Here is something AI accent. It's going to do a great job of brightening the night scene. Sky Enhancer does not recognize this sky. And in fact, it actually says in the manual it's not designed for night skies. So there's really not much I'm going to get out of that. I would probably add some structure, but basically all I did was give a little bit of detail and clarity to the photo and a little bit of brightness. Whereas if I go in and custom edit this thing, and I need to kind of mess around, I don't have a plan with this photo, but the first thing I would do with any night scene is take that temperature down. I'm going to bump up smart contrast, control the highlights, bump up the shadows, maybe add a little bit of vibrance. And maybe what I would do is then go in and start using radial mask. I'd probably use a radial mask on a new layer on the left side to sort of maintain or control some of those oranges. Let me just do that here. I'm going to take this saturation and I'm going to no, I don't think I'll change the hue. Let me try yellow. not really doing much for me. But I would probably come in and do some custom radial masks on that side and maybe a radial mask over here to kind of brighten that. But if you just look at the base level image, there's my version and there's the AI version. The AI version's too bright and too yellow for me. Doesn't really work at all. This version, with just kind of hacking around for a moment, it works better, but I'm not done. I would need to go do more. And that's kind of, again, what I'm saying is AI by itself on some images is going to do great. On an image like this, a night image, I think personally, it's not going to get anywhere near. Now, what I do recommend doing is doubling up and using the AI tools in combination with other tools. Let me show you one more example of AI at work. So AI Enhance is AI Accent. There's no sky, so I don't need to worry about that. Structure is going to go great here because there's so much to kind of crunch up. But again, I've got a really kind of pukey yellow photo. I would rather come over here and say, let me work on this temperature. Let me add some contrast, put on the highlights, and then let me double up by going in and saying, I do want AI Accent to double up with this photo, and I do want some structure. And I'm actually going to go back over here, and I'm going to go bluer again. Oops, maybe not that much. And maybe pull that tint down a little bit, trying to get a more realistic view of that photo. There it is before. That's using my tools and the AI tools. And there it is, just the AI tools. Way too yellow. The temperature is completely off. So you have to fix the white balance, which is not really what the AI tools are doing for me. So there's the AI version, and there's my version with AI tools in combination. And I think that's really what I'm talking about here. I've got one more photo where I would really use both of them in combination to get the results that I want. Let me show you. AI Accent, AI Sky Enhancer, AI Structure, I'd probably go negative. You know, it looks good if you compare to the beginning. It's too dark, but it doesn't look great. I think what I would do is use a combination of tools here. I think I would use that negative structure. I think I would use AI Enhance and maybe some AI Sky Enhancer. And then I would come over here and I would mess with the temperature and tint. I would definitely add some contrast. I would maybe bump up these shadows. I would come into Landscape Enhancer and get some golden hour. And then I would come over here to these color enhancer sliders and start playing around to pop the colors. And again, I don't have a plan with this photo. My point is AI alone in some photos is going to work for you, and in other photos like this one, I think AI alone is not going to get you there. So what I'm really saying is AI is really good at being fast and being easy and being, intelligent. It is AI, and being efficient, I guess. If you have a whole lot of photos, it's great for that. If you just need to do minor edits to a lot of photos, AI, the AI tools are going to be your best friend. They're going to help you move through those very quickly and easily and get good results. If you have well exposed photos that just need a little kick and really, not a lot of changes, AI is going to be great for that. But if you have targeted, very specific edits and you want creative control over those edits, you need to use the regular tools, the masks, the layers, all that sort of thing. Because AI does what it's trained to do, and it does a really good job of that. But it cannot read your mind. It has no idea what you want to do to a photo. It does what it's trained to do, as I said, and it doesn't account for your personal creativity. So that's why I think it's a better together story. I think it's going to save you time. You can do custom adjustments and then use AI tools on top of that to enhance those adjustments and get a better photo at the end. But my personal opinion is AI is never going to replace you and your creative desires and your creative thinking in terms of how do you take an image from sort of zero to hero. And that's really it, my friends. I just wanted to do a comparison because, again, I sit here every week and I talk about how great the tools are. And a lot of the times, in fact, probably most of the times, I use the AI tools. And I was kind of wondering, I was like, well, is AI better than me? Do you need me? Do you need to come watch these videos? I'm really grateful that you do, and I enjoy the engagement with you all. But it's, I think, a legitimate question. How good is AI? And the answer is, it's really good, but it's not always good enough. Sometimes it's plenty good and can totally take the place of the custom adjustments you're going to do. It's going to depend on the photo. I personally find that I use the AI tools in combination with my creative thinking and my touch and feel for going through the image, and that works best for me. So to me, it's really a better together story. Use AI, and if you only need AI, then great, right? You did a great job getting the photo exposed properly, etc. But I find that because I like to have creative control, it's a combination of using AI to make these global adjustments to really help me pop a photo, and then I use my creative vision and tool use to target the additional enhancements where I want them to go. It's a great better together story. It's part of the power of Luminar 4. And that was really it. I just wanted to compare AI and me and see which one's better. And I think we go together quite well. So that's it for this one, my friends. I do appreciate you watching. Thanks for sticking around and coming back every week. It's super fun to be here with you all. Thanks again. Give me a thumbs up, like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you really soon. Have a great day. Take care, my friends, and adios.